Do you guys want to try something real time?
Okay.
I'm going to call some girls I know and ask them what they want in life. Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? And like,
Sure, let's do it.
Let's try it. Okay.
The first one.
Really?
Oh, based. She's based.
Okay, and why is that?
Because I want a family. I don't know.
I heard this and I was like, they need to say this in mother freaking conference, dude. Ready, set. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Midnight Mormons. I'm your host, Cardin Ellis, and today I'm joined in the studio by Brad Whitbeck and Kwaku L. And we recently had a conversation in which we discussed the false or faithful doctrine of one Andrew Tate, the internet sensation. And that spurred a lot of conversation and a lot of clips going backwards and forwards. And I got to tell you, I think this guy is unnecessarily slept on. And the more that I watch him, I think the family proclamation.
I feel like there's some good reason to sleep on this guy.
Okay, Bishop Jordan Peterson, Elders Quorum, advisor Andrew Tate may not be a bad idea. And here's the reason why. I will prove it. So this is the name of the podcast: The Family Proclamation versus Feminism, featuring Andrew Tate. And I offer these two clips. As I was going to say bait, but I would say as proof.
I think both are applicable in this.
So before I start, what do you think?
Well, I mean, just play it. I can't say what I think before I watch it.
So dude, I'm telling you, this is straight doctrine, manna from heaven right here. You ready? Here goes number one.
Carry a child for 9 months.
If you're not gonna,
sorry,
my headphones fell off. If you're not gonna have children,
sounds like you, Quaker.
If you're not gonna have children, what are you gonna do with your lives?
If I'm not gonna have children, travel, just pursue anything that makes me happy. Try to make money. I love traveling, so I would probably just
drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
Okay, self-centeredness.
About the same thing, like travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like my career will become my baby.
What about you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. And then I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting and shit like that. Yeah,
Miss Cuba, what about you?
She's nailing that.
Do whatever the I want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just my career.
Your career.
I'm passionate about it. So
a life without children is vapious, and it's inane and it's pointless.
Here we
you
go.
Sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you at a whim and not give a solitary. And when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you could afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday.
Dude, just because you could afford a couple other Gucci bags, you think, how is this not spot on, dog?
You know what it is? He just taught a karmic law. He just taught a deeply, deeply spiritual law.
Really?
Yeah. If you are, that's why I'm so against the whole like focus on yourself, just focus on yourself movement. If you spend all your youth focusing on you, that's all you're gonna have forever, and you're gonna be alone.
Yeah, and which in itself is like a form of damnation, right?
Yeah,
it's like halting your own progression by focusing on just yourself.
Right.
So yeah, I think. Cardin, you found a clip where he is dead on.
He's dead on.
Okay, well, dude, but see, that was not the very first clip I ever saw of him. This is the very first clip I saw of Andrew Tate, and we're gonna go over it right now. And this one, I was like, who is this cat? All right. And I want to hear what you guys think about this one, because this one it's the same podcast, Fresh and Fit. I'm very unfamiliar with it, but it basically looks like they get a bunch of no name but semi-hot Instagram models to hopefully amalgamate a million
To be fair,
viewers.
though, I've seen some of Fresh and Fit, and the girls in that show, they're Florida girls. And as we all know, I hate Florida and Arizona. I hate those two states more than any other place. So, and I hate the people there.
Yeah,
so
you hate them more than I hate redheads.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've dated like every redhead at BYU, but you've been betrayed by them all.
Yes.
So it's like a weird thing. But Florida girls are the biggest no-go ever. I will never date a girl from Florida. I don't care if she looks like Madison Beer and Zendaya put together. I cannot stand that.
That might be the chick right there, bro. You know, she's got a little bit of Zendaya, and I don't know who Madison Beer is.
Madison Beer, no. Madison Beer is one
it's a lot better choice than who's the girl that you like with the sleepy eyes? You always say,
Emma Chamberlain. I don't care. Beautiful,
beautiful.
She's perfect.
Okay. Well, this one right here, I heard this, and I was like, they need to say this in mother freaking conference, dude. Ready, set, go.
This is a big point I want to make because women confuse this very often. They talk about the fact that men have all the power, men make all the money. Men are in charge and we oppress women. Let me make something very clear to you.
Okay.
Firstly, you're confusing 1% of men with all men. The majority of men have no money, no power, no sex from their wife, no chance in court. They can't even keep their house. They won't get to see their kids and they don't. So most men, their life sucks.
Okay.
That's the first thing. The second thing, when a man gets up at 4 a.m. to go carry garbage to earn a good wage, he ain't thinking, I'm going to do this so I can oppress that because she's broke. He's doing it thinking so I can provide for my family, so my woman can stay at home and raise my kids and have nice nails while I'm out here carrying trash. You go to a coal mine, those dudes are not down there thinking about oppressing women. They're down there thinking about providing for women. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that there's not bad apples, but in general, us men are prepared to take on more to protect you than you would possibly believe. And in the modern world, they've spun that. Feminism spun that. Men make all the money. You women need more money because men make the money and men are in charge and men have the good jobs. Men are out here giving up their life for you chicks. Oh, yeah. They're giving up their life for you. And feminism prevents you respecting it. And this is a Western phenomenon. I say this as a man who lives in the East. In the East, women don't think that way. They think, I don't want to make money.
Okay, so look. How is that not completely true? Go to a coal mine and you will see nothing but loving husbands and fathers dutifully providing for you. They're not going home and thinking, I'm making all this money so that I can oppress that bee. Like, how is this not? That was better than the Proclamation of the Family. Because the Proclamation of the Family, the feminists have been able to pigeonhole as misogynistic garbage. This has a set of sunglasses and digging biceps.
And a Bugatti.
And a Bugatti. No, I'm just kidding.
No, okay.
How is that not true, though? Tell me how that is not true.
So I'm not going to say that that's not true. I think he has some really, really good points. I do think that there are some things that feminism arose to help combat. And what he's saying here, though, is, I think, very correct. There are plenty of men. In fact, the majority of men are probably doing what they can to help their family. I'm really liking how family-centric every argument he just made there is, you know? Because everything else, he's weirdly anti-materialistic for how, like, much he talks about his Bugatti from what I've heard of other things, right? So I don't know. I'm surprised to even see that he was measured enough to say, like, obviously there are bad apples and, like, there's the 1%. I think it's more than 1% of people who are, like, not good people and are abusing their power as men, but, like,
dude, Tom McDonald said it so well. Tom McDonald literally said, I can't remember, I'm confusing the rap, so I'm going to butcher the rhyme. But he basically said, you know, feminism used to be the most noble of pursuits, but now it's literally just turned into man-hating. Go look at the book that they teach at BYU for sex and gender. I took the sex and gender class when I was a psychology minor, and it's literally just man-hating 101. I jokingly called the class man-hating 101, and that's literally all feminism is. And we can argue about what it was, because I've done my genealogy. I'm the closest living relative to Clara Barton, the founder of the American Red Cross and one of the original suffragettes. But outside of the initial Republican push towards voting rights towards women, which I actually don't even believe in universal suffrage. I think that if you don't have skin in this game, I think a woman with 3 children should have 3 points in her vote. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah?
Not just one. Yeah, I think every child that a woman has, she gets an extra vote. I think every gainfully employed man gets an extra vote. You served in the military, you get 3 extra votes. I literally think that we should just have like a point-based system.
You're a stand-up comedian where you lose 2 votes.
No, actually, you're probably an observational stand-up comedian. And like Dave Chappelle, he gets like 10. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like, except for the question of human rights, because I hate that suffrage was called a feminist ideal, because it's not. Feminism is destructive, okay? That was a human rights question. Who gets to vote in our society? Originally, as an agrarian society, it was only landholding men. It wasn't even men could. It was only men who owned land, because we valued the agrarian, warrior poet that lived on his own farm. You know what I'm saying? So like outside of initial 1800s questions of human rights and voting in our democratically elected representative republic, literally feminism has done nothing but turn women into angry wage slaves and convince them, like, look at this. All 3 of these women, when they were asked, what did they want to do? What was their answers?
Yeah, it was all self-centered.
Yeah, have a career, make a lot of money. To be fair,
it wasn't even make a lot of money. It was like,
there was at least one that was.
Oh, well,
yeah. But
and there was the one who was the most unconvincing doctor ever. Like, if I were sitting across from that woman, like, and she was like, I think we need to run blood tests.
By the way, can I talk about how Gen Z dating sucks, and you guys are always like, no, Quaker, it can't be that bad. There you go.
Oh, that's true.
To be fair, I think if you ask that same question to a lot of the young men of today, they'd give very similar answers. You know, like, if you were to never have kids, if you were to never have a family, what would you do with your life?
No, but that's a different question. If you were to never have kids, they were asked, what do you want to do in your life?
No, he asked if you're not going to have kids, what are you going to do with your life?
You're right. If you watch the whole interview, it was because basically they were besmirching the idea of having kids, which is like the new feminist thing. You know
that's true. Saying? That's fair. But I do think that there's like more than just the feminist side of this argument. There's this materialist side of this argument, which is really weird to see Andrew Tate be the person who is like arguing somehow against materialism. But
honestly, it comes down to the fact that he's become the voice of men. Because he's got enough money, he can't really be canceled. He's in a country where...
But does he, though?
Maybe in Romania.
I think he does.
Maybe in Romania, it's...
the point is, he is living outside of a cancelable system, whereas most guys are afraid to even say that family matters because some crazy person at their work is going to report them to their boss, and half these CEOs running in the country don't have a spine anymore and will fire you and cave to any mob, right?
Yeah, and you have like situations where people say, like, hey, oranges are great. And then everyone commenting is like, what about lemons, huh? You hate lemons because you didn't mention them? So, I totally see what you're saying.
So he's kind of has been given the mantle to speak for Western men, especially Western young men. And to be honest with you, when I talk to guys about what they want in their life, they all want to be dads.
Uh-huh.
Even my most vehement ex-Mormon friend, all they want is a nice house with a couple kids, a job that they can tolerate. Like, the goal for men has not really changed. Even all the freaking alpha male influencers that there are, 100% of them, except for like the fresh and fit guys who say don't get married, they're all like, and you need to have a hot wife and kids that respect you.
and provide for your family, right?
It's all like...
And if they end up being nerds, you have to challenge them to Mortal Kombat with a sword, right?
The guy grind has not fundamentally changed that much, but the female grind has. And that's what's scary, because we have only one half of society that still wants a somewhat nuclear family. And the other half... That's divided between 50-50, and 50% of the women do, the other 50% don't. And, like, what are you supposed to do with that?
That's actually really profound, Kwaku. Every once in a while, you have these really great sayings that stick with me. The guy grind has not changed in 5,000 years. It's been 5 millennia since the guy grind has stayed the same. But the female grind has totally changed. And you see it right here. I mean, the only one that was semi-articulate was the girl that was bragging about her supposed acting and a military technology career. And let me tell you, that girl, if she were pitching me and I were a military general, if she were pitching me as ineffectively as she was pitching her future on the Fresh and Fit podcast, her supposed like military simulation machine, I'd be like, get my soldiers out of there. You know what I'm saying? But every single one of those women was basically like completely dogging family creation, formation, and cultivation. And
through the rest of the podcast?
I mean, well, I've watched a lot of this actually because YouTube, I swear, I think Andrew Tate is like paying YouTube because the second you click on one thing, there's 50 million different little channels that have quotes.
Yeah, why is that? Why is he like in the algorithm so hard right now?
Because Hustlers University is the MLM that he runs, and you open your own Hustlers University, something like that, under him like an MLM, right? Mm-hmm. But the material you use to advertise your buy-in is videos of Andrew Tate. So he's created the only social media method that can beat the algorithm I've ever seen.
It's what Alex Jones tried to do, saying repost everything that I say. But
now there's incentive to do it. And so they can't cancel him because even if they cancel his profile, it didn't do anything because he's still everywhere because it's Andrew Tate. So he found a way to beat the system, which is another reason why men go, this guy is a top G. He's literally a top G.
Because he beat the algorithm.
He beat Zuckerberg. He beat Twitter. He beat all of them within 3 months. This guy's only been popular for like 3 months. You have to understand.
Yeah.
So very genius.
Well, and see, I always think, what can we learn from this? And what I've learned is this. Is actually Andrew Tate is literally in the same part of my brain as Donald Trump. I've never met him in person. He says some crazy stuff that's like 90% true. Those 3 things that everybody hates are usually taken out of context. For Andrew Tate, apparently it's this women are his property thing, which apparently he never said. He said something close, but they're
was there like
it
credible allegations of human trafficking?
Well, he did.
Heard that.
He literally did run an OnlyFans company, I found out. And he had like 7 or 8 of his ex-girlfriends are all doing OnlyFans, and he was responding to the guys on the keyboard while they were faking that they were answering. And it was like his first business was having a bunch of women, 3 of them were ex-girlfriends doing the OnlyFans thing, and he was like splitting it with them as a percentage, and he was the one typing to the dudes, which is like crazy. And apparently one of the girls got in a fight with him. Apparently she had a substance abuse issue or something like that, and he said no drugs in the house or whatever, and I think like kicked her out, said she has to go, and he physically picked her up and put her outside when she refused to leave. He like put her on her shoulder and left. And in the UK that counts as human trafficking because you displaced a human from their place of residence against their will or whatever. So he had to go to court for something. I think he ended up getting fined. I don't know. You can look it up. There's like little mini documentaries that I guess his minions have done online. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I wasn't there and I didn't see that. But I see a world utterly getting destroyed by feminism. My society's birth rate, there are measurable quantifiers. That which cannot sustain itself will not sustain itself. And our society is not having enough children to replace itself. Yeah. We are literally withering on the vine. And there was one major culprit, and that is feminism. And
I think it's way bigger than that.
You don't think so?
Yeah,
well, secularism. Secularism.
Yeah.
And the tip of the spear is feminism.
And like everything to do with love of money over family. And
way that
people
that's
are
true,
like,
but also to push back on that, things have become so unaffordable where now it's like I know my buddies that got married right off their missions and they're like, I'm doing the right thing. I'm getting married 6 months off the mission, got a wife.
You get punished for it almost.
They're like, they want to have 8 kids. They want to do the big Mormon family thing. They can't do it.
I can't think. I think every friend I have that has become a teacher is having to quit because they're not making enough money to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And they're having financial trouble in some other way, right? So it's crazy to watch how inflation is just destroying people's ability.
Is it inflation or is it an ism? Because I've got another video for that.
Well, I think it's both.
Wait, before you play that, I want to say, well, people are see, this was the cause of the accounts like Libs of TikTok, right? So first thing is first, heterosexual people with children are not becoming teachers anymore. The job does not pay enough unless it's a wife and the husband is making a lot of money, and she's a teacher. It can work.
Same with
but
nursing.
If it's not, yeah.
I lived in a hospital for a year.
Yeah.
Nursing has very drastically changed.
It's not making the money. So who is becoming teachers? LGBT people are becoming teachers because a gay man.
Over 50% of our nurses were gay or lesbian, and they all had a sugar daddy at home.
And like this is not me trying to be mean or offensive, but they don't have children. By and large, LGBT people do not have children.
Yeah, they're called dinks in marketing. Dual income, no children.
Right.
Because like it's the only way you can afford a house in my hometown.
So literally now they're becoming teachers. Like, oh, I'm a gay guy. I don't have kids. All right, someone's gonna clip that on Twitter and have me saying, I'm a gay guy, and go, look, we found him. Look, who's gay. But so people are like, well, how come there's so much LGBT ideology being pushed in public schools right now? Because the teachers are gay now. Like, that's literally just what's happened because they're the only ones who can afford to take on that job because they don't have children.
There's an overrepresentation of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that comes from what we've seen where heterosexual people with children can't take those jobs that they once were taking. So we're seeing a total demographic shift in our entire society. And so that's why we have so much of what's going on. Everything's changing. It literally all goes back to the fact that a certain generation decided to financially destroy our country, and it rhymes with loomers, the lady loomers. And so again, all this stuff, it all goes back to the fact that we have destroyed our country. And you know what? Maybe spending my childhood seeing us involved in 3 wars, 4 housing crises, maybe that could that was too much to experience.
Like, trust in institutions is at an all-time low, it feels like to me.
Oh, of course.
But I feel out of the ashes of the dissolution of that trust, a new generation is really getting it. Like, let me pull up this Feminism versus Reality video. I remember when I first explored TikTok, my mind was blown at what these young kids were saying. Stuff so politically incorrect, it could not get said on YouTube or Facebook because the boomers were already watching.
Can I just say, when I do the conspiracy nights in Provo, we did one on 600 North, over 100 people showed up on a Sunday night to a conspiracy night that was posted once on an Instagram story. So I know the the Gen Xers and the boomers who watch the show, and even a lot of the older millennials are like, Quaker and a conspiracy, it's so stupid. Let me tell you, Gen Z is all into this stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, Nick Fuentes, as much as I disdain that guy, there's a lot of Nick Fuenteses out there among Gen Z, and it's a direct reaction to the culture we were raised in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we go. This is the last one we're going to watch because this one, I love this girl and how she just...
Oh, me too. Who is that?
Precisely.
Who is that? I'll agree with anything she says.
We're going to get a date with Kwaku with a chick that's based, man.
Who is that? She is...
So look, here we go. You ready? Oh, you haven't seen this video yet, Kwaku?
I haven't watched it, but I've been seeing it like on TikTok.
Dude,
okay,
so watch this. You talked about how everything's so unaffordable. Enter Brittany Martinez.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed.
Oh, there's the nature of the problem, Kwaku. They could not be taxed.
So our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit.
Okay, what, you got something you want to say?
So far, all I'm saying is hair part in the middle, last name is Martinez, half Latina hot chick who brought up the Rockefellers and tax theft. I'm sorry, that's what more could you want in a woman?
That's not Brittany Martinez, by the way. That's her name is
whoops. Did I
Shannon Michaela.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it's Shannon Michaela. It's spelled Michael. Sorry. She's a regular Aussie, not a half Latina Aussie.
Oh,
this is
dang
a repost.
Darn.
I apologize.
Doesn't matter. She's probably like a quarter Aboriginal or something, so it still works. I just want to know my wife won't burn if I take her to the beach. That's the issue with dating redheads. I've dated 2 redheads. They all burn in the heat. I can't do it.
Step into the sun.
Okay, so here we go. You ready? So at its core,
its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't?
Oh, that is savage.
Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
Boom.
Wow.
That is just as hard a bomb as freaking Andrew Tate. We got to change the title of this movie to The Proclamation of the Family versus Feminism, featuring Andrew Tate and Shannon Michaela.
That is the hottest chick I've ever seen. That's all I'm going to say. I was not paying attention to anything she said. But
No. I think she made some really killer points. I have no idea about like the Rockefeller funding
Do you
of
know
things.
when the price of housing tripled? In the decade feminism shoved women into the workplace. Because all of a sudden the banks and the mortgage companies realized, we used to only be able to charge $100,000 for a house because that's all a man could afford. Now we can charge $250,000. Now we can charge $200,000, $300,000 for a house because the wife should be working too. And if you're not, you're a bad feminist. If not, you're a bad person. You're a misogynist. Like, look at how these people get absolutely demonized as being misogynists and haters and so on and so forth.
The thing
when
I
all
like
they
most,
do is cite straight up bare bones statistics.
Yeah, the thing I like most about what she said is like, we need to be working towards equality of opportunity instead of equality of outcome, right? I'm paraphrasing, but that's the essence of what she was saying.
Do you guys want to try something real time?
Okay.
I'm going to call some girls I know and ask them what they want in life. Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? And like,
Sure, let's do it.
Let's try it. Okay,
I'm down.
I'm going to FaceTime Callie right now.
Should we be naming names?
Her last name won't be.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
She's a social media person. She's an influencer
It's
person.
Utah. Callie's.
There's like a million
there's
of them.
plenty of them around, It should be Mick Callie.
Oh, a lot of them might be working right now.
There's our feminist argument right there, dog.
I know. Hey, real quick, you're live on a radio show.
1 second, I'm depositing a check. 1 sec.
Okay, she's depositing a check.
Oh, dang.
Oh, is that the paycheck? All of the feminists in the audience are like, yeah, boss.
Okay, you're live on a radio show right now. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather get married to no, not me. I was like, don't focus on. I said not me. I meant don't focus on me, Cameron. Focus on Callie. Would you rather get married to a handsome guy and have a couple kids and live in a nice house, or would you rather work for the rest of your life?
Get married, obviously.
Oh!
Really? Okay. So she's
Like, not even questionable.
Okay,
Dang.
dude.
okay.
So
all
not
right.
even a doubt.
Not even questionable. Okay. And
I think she meant to say not even a question.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Thank you. That's all I needed.
Oh,
Okay, bye. All right.
just totally used her
Okay.
for whatever answer. Okay, cool.
Should we call a couple more?
Yeah, dude, I'd go for it. Like, this is our real-time polling data
Okay,
right
real-time
here.
polling.
You know what
Okay,
I'm
okay,
saying?
Yes.
By the way,
End of 3.
good thing we didn't live stream this, or else all these girls that would be watching would be like blocking your number. Like, I don't know if he doesn't call me. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see.
By the way, put it by your microphone so they can hear it more.
Oh, I want them to see. Okay.
Oh, they'll be able to see. And I can zoom in. I can always zoom in better than I can catch the sound again.
As we're calling more people, one thing that I want to say is like this last line that she had: feminists are demonizing and emasculating men, and that's kind of the
Dude, that's all it is.
well, it's not all that it is, but that's the
Name
bad
one
side of
modern part of the feminist movement that is not
it.
anti-man and is pro-woman.
I'm saying that's what it's become, right?
Yeah,
there
exactly.
there were good things that it started with,
In my entire adult life, that's all it's been.
and
Trying to turn women into dudes. What? You got somebody else yet?
No, keep going. Keep going. It's
Okay.
just funny how.
No, my entire life, it's been about making the feminine masculine, okay, and then making the masculine feminine. It's all been about role reversal. And at first it was kind of cool, like this, hey, look, girls can be lawyers too, if there's somebody that's...
Hey, quick question for you. You're live on a radio show right now. Help us settle a bet.
Wait. I can't hear you. Wait, what?
Wait, okay. You're live on a radio show right now. Can you help us settle a question?
Put it by your microphone.
Okay, let's put it by the mic. So, Sky.
What?
Would you rather get married to a guy you love, have a nice house and some kids, or would you rather work for the rest of your life?
The first one?
Which is what?
Get married to someone I love and have a nice house and kids.
So we're trying to figure out if like oh wait, Mia's calling. Okay, see ya. Hey, question for you. Okay, you're live on a radio show right now, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'll do it like this. Okay, so would you rather
Sorry, my service is bad.
No, it's okay. Would you rather get married and have some kids and a husband you love and live in a nice house, or would you rather work for the rest of your life?
The first one.
Really?
Oh, based! She's based!
Okay, and why is that?
Because I want a family. I don't know.
Awesome!
Interesting.
Oh, you gotta show her to the camera. Show her off. She's cool, man.
This is
What's up? She's like,
what is happening right now?
Okay, yeah, we're just. No, it's okay. We're just trying to settle a bet because we're talking about like modern day feminism and how a lot of women don't want to have.
Hey, ask her if she self-identifies as a feminist or if she thinks. Ask her if she thinks feminism is positive or destructive.
I wouldn't say I'm a feminist.
Why not?
In a way, yes. In a way, no. I don't know.
Why not? Just say why not?
Why are you not a feminist?
I just think there's a point, or like I don't know. I feel like it's just overdone. I feel like feminism is overdone. I don't know.
Oh, I love this girl. She's awesome. Kwaku, take her out on a date right now.
No. Okay. All right. Thanks, Mia.
I love you.
Bye.
She just said he's like a brother.
She said, I love you, dog. Halfway there.
Mia. Did you miss what she said right before? He's like a brother.
Yeah, Mia and I are homies.
Okay, bummer.
We're homies. She also has a boyfriend.
So, dude, me and Brad could beat him up.
I am not romantically interested in this girl in any way at all. Okay. No, we've been homies for a while. Okay.
So
I don't know. 3 is pretty good, bro.
Yeah, and listening to what she said,
really
what she said when you asked if she was a feminist.
Wait, should I call the one girl I know who's my friend who is a feminist? She is liberal.
Oh, sure, do it.
Because
let's see.
I've only asked girls whose political affiliations I'm not too sure about. This girl I know is liberal. She was really mad about like the Roe v. Wade stuff, so I want to get her opinion.
Gosh, so she's a.
Gosh, Garden.
Great.
We'll see if she answers. Because if we can get a liberal to,
No, I'm a liberal.
Hey, Hallie.
What's up?
Okay, you're live on a radio show right now, okay?
Oh, great.
Okay, I have just one question for you. So, would you rather get married and have some kids that you love and like a nice house, or would you rather work for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Your professors aren't watching. Be a real person.
Which one?
I feel like I'd rather have a nice house. Like, if I could have both, that would be great, but a nice house and kids, probably.
You can't, because if you work, you'll just be depressed and angry and overweight. But if you stay at home with your kids...
That is not true.
Okay.
She still chose to get married and have a family and kids.
We're just polling because we're trying to see like what do like girls, Gen Z girls actually want right now, and is it kind of the 90s sort of feminist thing where you want to like work, or do you want to like do the nuclear family thing? And I was like, well, Hallie's a little more liberal, but I bet she probably wants a husband and kids.
Having children and loving your family is better than antidepressant addiction, I promise.
All right, that's what I choose. Nice big house, kids, cooking dinner every night. The life.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
This is her. All right. Okay, Hallie, thanks so much.
You're beautiful, Hallie. Good job.
So after coercion,
we're deprogramming feminists.
So after enough coercion, she did agree with the rest of our poll, with the rest of our unbiased poll.
Look. The patriarchy has to fight back at some point. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Can we just talk about one? Even my female friends who I'm not dating, all of them are hot. I will not. I'm a top G. I will not surround myself with ugly chicks. Okay? No,
oh my god,
I'm a top G.
No, those are literally all just my friends.
Yeah.
Those are all just my friends. There is no coercion. There's never been a romantic thing with any of them. They're all just friends. That is just their legitimate
heckling
opinion.
them at the last one.
Yes.
No, dude, I wasn't heckling her.
Oh no, it was just funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
You saw it here. You saw it here live, dude. These are Mormon girls. I guess they're the last based girls in the country.
Dude, no.
Did you know there's actually like a weird random prophecy out the middle of nowhere? I can't remember how it's sourced or anything, but
these are always the best sources. Prophecies we can barely remember and not sure how they're sourced.
Yeah, no. This one, it's actually a thing where I think it was. I can't remember who it's attributed to either. If it was Joseph Smith or Joseph F. Smith, where he was saying that the day will come when only Latter-day Saint women will be willing to have a family.
Oh,
will be willing to have kids.
I don't know. Jews are pretty hardcore, dog.
And the Amish.
Yeah, Jews and the Amish.
But the Amish really count.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
like they're off the grid, off the system. I don't think they're counted in prophecies.
That's probably that's the good thing.
And that's
by the way,
a fair point.
I think there might come a day where Mormons have to be kind of like that, bro, for a period of time.
You want to embrace that Luddite life?
Well,
no, not Luddite. Just
that's why I'm happy that we have so many Mormon entrepreneurs that like we've at least learned from our history that we got to be our own bosses. And you know what? We just need to have a lot of kids because ultimately that's where the battle is. Like it does not matter. When you get down to it, those YouTube videos where it's an atheist and a Christian debating, well, actually, if you look at this, the translation of this means that none of that matters. Who's having the more kids? Because atheist guy, if you're not having enough kids, nothing you say ultimately matters because that guy's going to outbreed you. And he's going to teach his 8 kids about Christianity and you're going to teach your no kids about nothingness. So it does not matter. And if the battle for religion is a children's battle.
When those atheists are the ones who are the teachers? If they are taking over all of the education system, right? Like you were talking about earlier, where
yeah, but still though, that's what's happening right now. But look still,
that's
all those.
So here's my question for you. We know that the most destructive force of the past 100 years has been secularism.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Finish your thought.
I just think good parents are more influential than teachers.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Lives.
Okay. I feel.
Also, let's be honest. By the time my generation's kids are like in high school, the public school system is going to be so decimated and a laughing stock anyway. No one's going to really take what these teachers have to say like that strongly.
Well, I think actually that's kind of already happened. And that 2021 was the tipping point, and COVID with all of the lockdowns, the mandatory distance learning, especially here in California, really exposed a lot of the crappiness and the underbelly of it, and just how bad and ideologically driven it's been. So basically, we're gonna put a cap on this. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna bring this full circle as host. This is my responsibility. But we know that the most destructive force in America in the past 100 years has been secularism. The tip of that spear was feminism, and that the beginning of feminism was generally noble efforts such as human rights and voting rights and so on and so forth. But it has culminated in, as your friend said, being, quote, at best, overdone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At worst, just literally, as this girl says, demonizing and emasculating men. And so the beginning was that. This is my question. What's the end of feminism? Because pendulums swing, they come and they go. And I feel like 2021 was...
you know what did it?
What?
This is where China failed. China creating TikTok to, destroy the youth. Where it failed was COVID-19 got all of these young girls staying at home, making TikToks, hanging out with their younger siblings, realizing, I could do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And now none of those women want to work. They realize the cons.
All of those tweets that are like, You're telling me some broad in the 1800s got mad she couldn't vote, and now I have to work for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're saying.
Exactly. It's like how many girls, they're in the metropolitan areas, they have these good jobs, they're making a lot of money, they come back to their apartment, and their boyfriend is playing video games.
Yeah.
And they're like, this should be reversed. You should be out working. I should be here making some cookies. My kids are watching Finding Nemo, and I'm lighting candles. That should be my life. But instead, it's not. And that's the life we want our girlfriends to have. And that's what, like, I'm sorry, the non-loser dudes who aren't addicted to Call of Duty and porn, we literally are like, I literally make money. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I make a lot of money for my age, and it's literally because I want a hot wife who's taken care of. Like, that is ultimately my goal. Do you understand?
Yeah. That's why people work. Otherwise, like, what's the point of amassing
You literally
money?
just quoted. Who did you just quote? Who did
Oh,
you just quote?
You quoted Andrew Tate now.
Yeah, you just quoted Andrew Tate. You literally, he literally said,
they're giving up their life for you, and feminism prevents you respecting it.
Oh, dude,
So-
you just quoted Andrew Tate, brother.
I did. Wow.
Now, here is the point that I want to make. In this whole episode, something that's been bugging me in the back of my mind is the way that we talk about this can still confuse people and get them on the wrong track. Because you'll have women out there who are like, I'm a feminist, and, Andrew Tate's a misogynist. Therefore, we're in these distinct camps.
So we need to
and
disabuse them of their false narratives and their misunderstandings.
Well, I'm not...
They misunderstand what feminism really is.
I'm not
and I can't defend Andrew Tate.
I'm not convinced that Andrew Tate is not a misogynist, right? But one thing that I think is important for us to look at here is, okay, we have feminism being something that has had effects, I think, beyond what was originally intended when they started, right?
You think?
Yeah.
Our society has burnt to the ground. Our birth rate is 50% what it was in the 60s.
There are so many more factors involved in that.
All of them point. It's like a tree, there's lots of branches. They all end up meeting at the same core.
But here's the deal.
Secularist feminism.
There are truths within secularist feminism. Even within that, there are truths. And the reason people believe in secularist feminism is because of those truths, right?
Okay, what are those truths?
So when you have...
If there's so many, they should be easy to label.
So with secularist feminism, which one do you want first? Secularism or feminism?
No, just within feminism. What's the major truth?
The major truth is that men and women are equal. Right?
Okay,
they're not the same.
It says that in the Proclamation of the Family, and that's not secularism. That is actually Christianity saying we are all
they all
children
share that
of
truth,
God.
Carden.
And by the way, what is equal? Can women swim as fast as men?
No.
So then are they equal or not?
They are equal, and so this is where it gets confusing, right, Carden?
Okay.
And so then you have people who get into the distinction that I really liked that Shannon Michaela made was fighting for equality of outcome instead of equality of opportunity is one of the major issues here. That's where secularism, I think, goes most wrong.
But isn't there equality of opportunity? Anybody can become a bricklayer. Why are 99.9% of all bricklayers men?
I'm not disagreeing with you that we're there. And I would love to be able to make my point without getting cut off so much that then I get...
You're defending the evil ones!
No, I am trying to help people who are watching and thinking, but what? I thought I was a feminist. Realize, you can be a feminist who believes that men and women are equal and still agree with the other things that we're saying here, right? Like, that's the thing that I'm trying to go for here. We have such a tribalistic society right now where people label themselves in ways that they then just can't listen to other people, that I'm afraid we'll put out this podcast and have everyone who thinks that, I think men and women are equal. I disagree with everything that's in this podcast now because they're talking about Andrew Tate in a positive light. I want to make sure that doesn't happen, right?
Well, so I think it's the waves, right? So obviously third wave feminism is that's really what most people are opposed to.
I agree.
And that's the popularized feminism that was being shoved down our throats with BuzzFeed back in the day and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And it says get 1 million tattoos. It's okay to be overweight. It's okay, like, dye your hair crazy colors. You're on meds and you hate yourself and you're suicidal and this is all good. That's the destruction of the human soul. Third wave feminism is a nightmare. It's demonic. It's evil.
It's postmodern so far that it's deconstructing the very thing that it set out to do, right?
Yeah.
You have
how can you be like feminism is not what it was. Like, I am not the 19-year-old man that worked at a rock climbing wall that could do push-ups with my one digit of my fingers in the door frames of my car. I am what I am now. And when I meet people, I don't expect them to see me as I was when I was 19. Maybe my parents will, maybe some loved ones will, but I am what I am right now. And I'm sorry, feminism right now is, what's funny is true feminists would say that they're angry at you for saying third wave because they recognize it's a fourth wave right now. And they eschew and say the third wavers didn't go far enough. So if we know that right now we're in third or fourth wave feminism, depending on who you talk to, that's what feminism is. It's not what Clara Barton was in the 1870s. It's not what Barbara whoever was in the 1960s. I don't even know if I'd agree
with that statement, though, Carden, because I think feminism is going to mean something different to every single person that you're talking to, right? And unfortunately, we have the responsibility of figuring out how to deal with those labels for our audiences so that they can understand what points we're trying to make.
This is why I have you here, because you're more well-measured. You're kinder. You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, the amount of energy that it takes to try to make sure that you're talking around things to make sure that everyone is on the same page is exhausting. And so I can see why someone like Andrew Tate would come out here and just be like, screw it. Everyone's going to willfully misinterpret what I have to say anyway, so I'm just going to say the most outrageous things I can because that'll get the most reach.
And I've never met a feminist that said, you know what, I'm not third wave. And I eschew what's going on, except for maybe that girl that said, well, sometimes it's overdone.
Yeah, no. But I think that's the prevailing opinion I've heard is a lot of girls would say, I am a feminist because I think men and women are equal. That's what it would come back to. And they wouldn't even get into this
But to me, that's not feminism, that's Christianity.
And I agree with you. Because that truth is held in both places, right? And so the thing that I want to make sure we try to find a way to do on our show is figure out how we can actually bring people together in what's true without ideologically opposing everybody because of these tribal labels that have been set up already.
That is going to be in the intro of this podcast because we're gonna have to put some cool cream in this hot coffee.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, it's such a mess.
Wow. Yeah. You know,
that wasn't dirty. That was what they said in the Constitution when they were forming the bicameral House of Representatives and State Senate.
Well, here's the other thing. And this, unfortunately, I'm about to break the fourth wall a little bit.
Do it.
Because, like, when I think of the girls who are my friends, and I'm going to remove any of the romantic relationships out of this. So I'm not talking about exes. I'm just talking about, like, the girls we just FaceTimed. I legitimately recognize that they want happiness. They want to be happy for the rest of their life. And I want them to be happy. As guys, we don't just care about women we're attracted to. We recognize that the Lord puts women in our lives that we care about. We just do.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us have
I
those.
would hate for them to fall into the con and the lie of this soul destruction, which makes them miserable. Like, what was... The original suffragettes, what they were doing was fulfilling the Constitution to the measure of what it was actually written to be, okay? When they actually fought for women to have that equality, it was fulfilling what the Constitution actually promised.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the Constitution is giving us the right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. But what third wave feminism is doing is making sure you are getting none of those things.
And worse, becoming a wage slave to the corporations that are sloganeering everything and making you believe this screwy doctrine. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can't look around and wonder, where'd all this come from? Why am I unhappy? Why am I addicted? Why am I
really do think secularism is the bigger problem, because I think feminism was in a better spot before secularism got into it, right? That said,
I want Joan of Arc feminism. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
That's seriously, a feminist hero right there.
Yeah.
No, but here's the deal. Kwaku,
Here, you can have the last word, Brad. I know we've given you a heart attack on this podcast, so you can.
You have, not me.
You can have the last word.
So I love what you're saying there, because the last thing I want is to say things in a way that we get people digging in their ideological lines so much that they're like, oh yeah, no, screw what those guys have to say. I don't want to listen to, like they said, Andrew Tate said something right, so I'm not going to listen to what they have to say.
Right.
I want to find a way to help people recognize truth wherever they see it, and then bring that into their lives, because that's what's going to make them happy, you know? And so I want to make sure we find a way, however we find a way to do this, on our podcast to help people get there.
See, I would say that exact same thing, that ultimately you, viewer of the show, I want you to be happy. The difference between me and Brad is I say you need to disabuse yourself of the false narrative of feminism. He says you need to embrace it. You know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, Carton. Lean into that tribalism. It'll get us all happy.
I prefer to burn it to the ground. No, I'm just kidding. So,
there it is.
You know, all right. This is Midnight Mormons. See you guys in the next program.